when you look back on York High, once you've left, how will you remember it?
I remember it as a place where students can learn and teachers can teach, because that is how the new behaviour system has moulded this school.
You've got your, I'm going to get top marks even if it's in the middle of an earthquake.
Yeah.
And then you've got me, and I couldn't care less, and I'm just going to play up in your classroom. And then you've got 80% in the middle.
Yeah.
You say now you're able to access them because of this.
100%.
Yeah, like in every class, like there's not a single class that I can think that it's not worked.
Well, for me as a head of house, the biggest impact has been the whole change in behaviour policy. We've gone from a system where it was kind of our judgment within a behaviour policy of such, but this new one is very clear, it's very black and white. The pupils understand it, the staff understand it.
And they didn't realise that teachers were going to take it as seriously as we did. But within 2 or 3 weeks, the 90% who we want to learn and we know can learn were completely on board with it. And we've been left with that 10% that we've got to convert, that we've got to change their pattern of behaviour.
So we reminded them constantly that actually they're behaving well, because the overwhelming majority of children do behave well, and a behaviour policy it needs to exist for them as well as for the ones who sometimes make their own choices.
You can see the difference in the behaviour of the students in class. You can see the morale of the teachers improving. You can see that people are actually engaging more.
We now need to move it forward and tackle sort of issues in lessons towards like attitude to learning, which is totally what we're doing, and that's how the system's moving forward, so that we can turn it into results. The first stage was to get the behaviour under control, and now we're moving to the next stage, which is creating an absolute passion for learning and getting them to want it and getting them to want to work.
They talk to us more. I've got students that come back and say to me, Miss, I didn't really get this part of the lesson today. Can I spend 5 minutes at the end going through with you? And other students that are filing out aren't laughing at that, aren't sort of commenting on that, are actually thinking, do you know what, I might ask that question next week. And that's been something that's really made me take a step back and go, wow, this is actually what that's doing.
Who is benefiting the most from this new learning system that's in place?
Well, I'd say it's a bit of both, but I'd say more the teachers, because it's not putting as much stress on them, and so then they enjoy the lessons and they can start teaching more, that they can then improve the students' grades as well, so it benefits both.
Before the policy, I was getting into trouble and then getting low grades. But then the new policies come in, I've started to behave and I'm getting higher grades.
Some of them have done so well.
It's a good change for us because we're in year 10 and 11, so we've got the better behavior, we've got the better like structure and like behaviour and in lessons.
Well, the other thing that we're starting to realise is how big that silent majority is.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like, is it 80%, is it 90%? It's kind of nearer 95, 97.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, that's how it's panning
And the
out.
staff I've spoken to have all said, I can't believe the difference, it's just transformational.
Yeah, they get the chance to teach then, don't they?
Yeah, again, tell me, what's she about, throwing grapes at walls and stuff?
So different teachers have different ways of like trying to get the point across. So there's Miss Callum.
She tends to be quite physical with how she teaches.
Yeah, so she'll put on a video and to try and get us to remember certain things, like for attrition, she'd get grapes and throw them at a whiteboard to see how the rocks would act against like a river wall, which basically got me to remember how it worked.
She has many jazzy dances, as she calls them, as well.
Yeah.
So when you're being taught like that, and there's teaching like that going on in this school, how does that feel now compared to how teaching used to be?
It feels a lot more relaxed, so I think so. You learn a lot more because it's a relaxed environment in the classroom. You haven't got people misbehaving all the time, and teachers can do stuff like that because they aren't having to focus more on the bad people.
Yeah.
But they can do little dances and stuff like that to try and get you to remember certain points of videos and stuff like that.
So this school's had its ups and downs.
Yeah.
We're bouncing back from the Ofsted report of 2017, which was devastating to most of us who were here. But this is now in 2019, this is a really exciting place to work. This is a school that's on the up. You'll have heard from the students, you'll have heard from the staff that this is an exciting school to be in.
So what about people like him? What do we think of Mr. Sims?
Oh, I think he's been.
Yeah, he is.
I think you can have a right good joke with him.
And why is that useful in the school?
So it just creates a good atmosphere, doesn't it? Like if you've got a teacher who like can't really speak to, because like I don't know, and he always makes time for his students. Like he'll always be like, you'll just see him out and about on corridor, and you can go speak to him and have a laugh. But some teachers like they're too busy, so you don't speak to them.
What's important in a school is where you arrive. When you arrive at York High School, no matter what that starting point is, we will maximise your progress, your potential, we'll make you grow as a person, and we'll look after the individual at York High School. We want all of our students, not just some of our students, to be the best that they possibly can be.
See, if you're having troubles at home or in school, they'll take you in and they'll look after you, like, she'll take care.
A lot of the teachers are supportive as well.
You have
like,
a good relationship with Miss Sanger, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like, she'll go to Miss Sanger if she has any problems or anything like that, and she'll have a good chat with her.
It's just about building good relationships with your teachers, I think.
And you think that's something that's strong here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pastoral team at York High School are some of the most talented people I have ever worked with. Their ability to support students through all of the troubles and the difficulties that the teenage years bring is outstanding, from the heads of house to the pupil welfare officer to the school counsellor. We make sure that we try and minimise all of those obstacles and those difficulties that you face in your teenage years.
Well, they are in charge of making sure all the students in their house are okay, they're doing all right at home, they're doing all right at school, but also that the behaviour is good and that they're not worrying about anything and there's not a lot of pressure on them.
South Bank Trust is quite a small trust. We were approached by York High School, by the previous head teacher, to say, look, we need a bit of help to improve. Can you help us? And it was a big task for us to take that on. But we did it because we felt that our values were very similar to the values of York High School.
Where is governance now compared to where it was? And then how is that going to have an impact on where the school's headed?
So I think it's changed completely, actually. I mean, from the way we actually conduct our own governing body meetings to the committee structure that we've moved away from now, actually, to a smaller governing body. I think the change we've seen most recently, particularly after the academisation, is just a sense now that the school's got a really, really clear direction on where it wants to go. And that's not just the SLT and the staff, that's the pupils here as well. They understand what's expected of them. And they really buy into it. I think they do.
The Trust has asked me to work across both York High and Millthorpe, which is quite challenging, but in both schools we've got in place heads of school, Rod here and Gemma over at Millthorpe, so we've got a good structure where we can share expertise at senior level across the schools.
It's great that we've got that. What we've got is the old and the new. We've got a group of people, Rod included, lots of governors included, who've come together with Trevor and the Trust and me, and there's the kind of the old and the synergy of the old and the new. So there's new ideas and a real buy-in from everybody, and we're going places.
I'm absolutely dedicated that this school will be an officially good school according to Ofsted before 3 years is up from now, and I hope it'll be there before 2 years is up from now. And I think we can do that. We know that we've got behaviour and attitude to learning where it needs to be. We know that our teachers have got the skills to teach consistently good and sometimes outstanding lessons. What we haven't yet got is the time for that to have developed in young people sufficient achievement. So at the end of this current academic year, we will probably not get that good national progress picture, but the year after we will.
I want the parents and the students of this school, past and present, that when they get their results at the end of year 11, they go, wow, that was the best 5 years, they are a great set of results, and I want them to walk off into life after they've left York High School confident with all their options still open.
When you look back on York High once you've left, how will you remember it?
I remember it as a place where students can learn and teachers can teach, because that is how the new behaviour system has moulded this school.
Well, I remember it as like a place where I've got a lot of support, learnt a lot of things that has also helped me to go into my future career, because without this school I wouldn't have learnt the skills I need to get into college or even then get into university or get into a job. So they kind of give you like the base and groundworks for that, not just the academic side.